fascinating. In my makeup 2022 resolutions video, I talked about how I really want to go on this journey this year to find the perfect concealer for me and my under eyes, and maybe that is even not necessarily a concealer, it could be a powder, it could be a different technique, whatever it is. I want to find the perfect combination for my under eyes because I just really don't feel like I have found it. I'm not happy with it. And I asked you guys if you wanted to come on this journey with me, and you said yes, which I was very excited about. Now today we are doing a first impressions of some Laura Mercier under eye products. So I have the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion ultra-longwear concealer, I never say that right, and then the Laura Mercier Secret Concealer for under eye, and then also the Secret Blurring Under Eye Powder. So I have picked these up. This is a first impressions, and then what I'm going to do is at the end of every month I will recap and give proper in-depth reviews of any of the concealers or under eye powders or anything like that that I have purchased and tried throughout the month. So I want to do like first impressions and then a full review at the end of each month so that you guys can see what I initially think, and then come back at the end of the month and see what I really truly think and if I've made it work, etc. Hopefully that sounds interesting to you. Now, if it does, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. I just quickly went and put some foundation on. I am wearing the L'Oreal True Match today in 2N, and then I also put my Milk Hydro Grip and my Tarte Poreless Primer just through the T-zone, this one, but Hydro Grip all over. So if you're wondering what the skin prep is, and I did try and stay away from here so we could get like a true indication of like coverage levels for these concealers, etc. Just a little background into why I picked up these products specifically. I have quite a few concealers on my list to try that I've wanted to try for a really long time. I've been researching like all different concealers and like reviews of those concealers, different techniques, which we will do separately, powders, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the time I kept seeing the Laura Mercier concealers coming up and the two powders for under eyes specifically, which was like this one, the blurring one, and then there's also like a loose like secret brightening one, which I probably will maybe pick up at a later date. But I repeatedly kept seeing the Flawless Fusion, this secret concealer, and also I think it's the secret camouflage concealer as well, just over and over again. And when I looked at the secret camouflage, I figured that was probably a bit more for spot concealing is what I'm trying to spit out there, and then these two would be more for under eyes. Now you might be asking, why do you have two though, and why are you going to try them at the same time? Because I feel like these two will work really well together, and when I was swatching them in Mecca when I picked them up, I was like, oh yeah, this could be actually what I'm looking for here. Imagine if I just found my perfect combo in the one go. That would be amazing, like first video off the bat. Anyway, so what we've got is the Secret Concealer. This is in the shade 1, and the reason why I picked this one up is because it looks like it would be a little bit of a color corrector, but potentially with more coverage, which I think could work really well for me. I also really liked the consistency of it. And then I picked up the Flawless Fusion in shade 1N as well. So let me just quickly swatch both of these. So this one right here is the Secret Concealer in shade 1, and this one is the Flawless Fusion Concealer in 1N. So the reason why I think these will work really well together is you can see this has more of like a peachy salmon-y tone, and this one is more like a brightening neutral tone. And I think for my under eye specifically, because normally like I have the pigmentation out here, which is the one that's the most annoying, and lately I've even been seeing like when I've been looking straight on, this patch here is like super dark. But anyway, but my darkness as well, like normally people will say just use like a peach color corrector and it will cancel out that darkness. It does not work for my under eyes. Like you guys would have already seen in other videos, it just doesn't work for me. And I've even had makeup artists do my face before and they're like, yeah, this doesn't work for your under eyes, and I don't know why. But I do find that ones like these where they're like just slightly peachy but just slightly salmony, they kind of seem to cancel out that coloration for me a little bit better. And I think it's because it's not like just, you know, some people's under eyes are like consistently one color of darkness. Mine seem to have like multiple little different dimensions in there. I'm not sure why, but they do, so it's extra fun for me. So I'll probably treat this more like a color corrector. However, I'll layer it on first. Today we're going to try all three of these products together as a first impressions and just see how we go. But over the month, I'm going to try this on its own, the other one on its own. I'll try it with different powders, all that kind. I'll try it with so many different combos and techniques, etc. so that at the end of the month, I can give you exactly what my thoughts are. And then the other Laura Mercier product that I picked up was the Secret Blurring Powder for under eyes. So this one is in the shade Light, and then they also have medium dark. But but this one's basically, you can see it's clearly white, and it feels quite similar to the Pat McGrath under eye blurring powder. However, this one has like a lot more of a, I'm gonna say glitter and you guys are gonna be turned off. It's not glitter, okay? It's like, it's more sheeny than the, it's more of like a highlighter than the Pat McGrath one. The Pat McGrath one is like pure matte. There's no sheen or shine to it at all, whereas this one has like a bit more of a sheen and shine, and I use the word highlighter, but it's not like, you couldn't use it as a highlighter. It wouldn't be glowy enough. Like if you wanted the subtlest of subtle highlights and it was white maybe, but like you wouldn't get like a glow. Like I'll try and swatch it on my hand. So I don't know if you can see, it's just here, but yeah, it's just, the Pat one is like pure matte. This one has a little bit more of a sheen. So we'll see how this goes. And then again, in my review video at the end of Feb, I will like compare it with the Pat one, etc. Each of these products, by the way, as well, were like $40 Australian each. I don't know how much they are in other currencies, sorry. And you can just pick all three of these up from Mecca if you're from Australia, and then I'll have like the US link down below, etc. Let's go ahead and just start applying this, shall we? I think I might do one side with a finger and then one side with a brush, and see how we go. Okay, so let's go into this one first. I'm just gonna pick it up with my ring finger, and I'm going to start tapping it out underneath my eye. I've also been finding lately that concealer really isn't wearing well on my under eyes. Like I've been noticing just the bit like where my, kind of like my little bags are here, it just wears the concealer away. No matter what powder I use, no nothing. And it's like such a new thing, so I don't really know. I don't know why, you guys. So this is one side with the like just me tapping out with my finger, and then this has got nothing, and I can already see a huge difference. I actually really like the way that this is looking so far. It's not like covering full coverage, but it's doing a pretty good job, and it's doing a really good job, I think, so far at just neutralizing the darkness. It's not completely getting rid of it, but it seems to be neutralizing it quite well, which is the thing that I find the most difficult, is to just neutralize it, because it still always peeks through. I actually think that's looking quite good. Imagine if this was just the one product I needed after all that. I mean, that'd be nice. I could save myself a lot of money. Let's try the brush on the other side, although I have to admit I really like the way that that tapped out with the finger. So we'll give the brush a go, but if I don't like it, I'll just switch back to the finger because it worked lovely. This is pretty good. Is it like perfect? No, I can still see some darkness, but it has done a really good job at like neutralizing it, which is the toughest part for me personally. So let's go ahead and now use the Flawless Fusion Concealer. So again, I should have actually just done everything on this side and then this side, shouldn't I? I'll do that in the future, I promise, I'm sorry. So I'm just gonna put a little bit because I wanna see just like what small amounts do, and then we'll build them up, etc. So I guess I'll use my finger on this side again as well. I never use my finger, but lately I have actually been liking it. That's one layer with my finger, and I actually think that looks really kind of nice. Is it full coverage? No. Like there's definitely still darkness peeking through, but it's neutralized it quite lovely. But I will say that my under eyes look really smooth and hydrated. So I'm into that. Now let's go ahead and do this side, but with a brush. I just like the blending brush because it's a little bit softer on the under eye and easier for me personally. So blend it out with a brush, blend it out with finger. I think the finger side looks way nicer. It even looked like the finish looks nicer, doesn't it? Can you see that? Okay, so yeah, this side looks a lot smoother, and then this side and like more full coverage, whereas this side there's still like some darkness and everything peeking through. Let's do another little layer and see how we go. See, this eye automatically to me looks better just using my finger. Interesting, fascinating. Okay, so that's the second layer with blending out both with finger, like my ring finger. I think it looks so much better. I am going to just put one little more dot here. just to see if I can get that a little bit brighter, because it is still got, honestly, quite a bit of darkness peeking through there still. I tell you what though, the finish of this is beautiful. I hope this wears lovely. I will do a wear test as well. I don't think I've said that yet either. Okay, so that's looking lovely. I'm just gonna quickly go and put some cream contour on, and then we'll come back and we will set it with the blurring powder, so just a jiffy. So I can just quickly put the ABH cream bronzer on, and now we're gonna move on to powdering. So I'm just picking this up. This is my normal Sigma F35 brush. I do this every day with the Pat McGrath powder. Wow, that's brightening. We'll just drag that through the T-zone a little bit. Oh wow, she's blurring. Okay, so this is one side with one layer and none. I mean, it kind of looks the same. It's just like mattified it and blurred it a bit, whereas this one looks a little bit more creepy looking. This one definitely looks smoother, but this one looks more hydrated, so I'm not really sure, you know. And I will say that this is just kind of, because it's like mattified it a little bit, it has just kind of like settled that darkness in. So I don't know, let me know what you think. Which side? Okay, let's take this now. I think this might actually look a little bit nicer on the under eyes than the Pat McGrath one. But I need to obviously review this a lot more and like try it out a lot more. They're not looking too bad though. I'm actually going to pick a little bit up on my powder puff as well and press it in and just see what that does, because why not? Definitely blurs it a lot more, that's for sure. Wow, that blurs it a lot more. I like that. I like that right now. These are not looking bad. These are looking better than they've looked in a long time, to be transparent. Like, honestly, I'm not just saying this, they really are. If I didn't like it, I'd be like, I don't like this, but I'd keep testing it, yeah. But this isn't looking too bad. You can still see the pigmentation right here, and here, and here, and here, and the darkness in here, but it is way more full coverage than I've had in a really long time, truly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like, and I'll show you the time, and then I will check in later with a final, like, what it's worn like all through the day. So just a jiffy. So I just quickly went and did my makeup. This is a very kind of everyday look for me, by the way, if you're wondering, because I had literally 10 minutes to do the rest of my makeup. I'm wearing the Hermes lipstick in the shade 18, if you're wondering. But this is what the under eyes are looking like right now. So again, you can still see I've got that level of darkness there, but that's okay. It's actually they're looking pretty good. This one's already slightly got some wearing away, so we'll see how that goes. But they're actually looking truly the best they've looked in a really long time. So there you go. Now it is a 11:57 on the 14th of January here, so midday. So I'm gonna go about my day, and I will come back at the end of it. I will try and wear this as long as I can, and I will come back at the end of it and I will let you know how we're looking. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, I am back. I am very hot. It has been a hot, long day. Anyway, it is 7:30 now, and I've been wearing this concealer for just over 7.5 hours. Let's call it 7.5. To be fair, I need to take my makeup off. It is expired. If you're wondering if my hair looks different, yes, it does. I recently got a human hair wig to try. So for the last hour and a half, I have been styling this wig or like curling it, and I am so hot, so hot. So like all of my makeup has like, I've gotten so oily in my T-zone, it's like melted off my forehead. All of the makeup is basically worn away because of when I was like trying to put the wig on and play around with it, etc. So I'm looking rough. I'm looking rough. The makeup is expired. I'm expired, and I need to go have a shower and get myself some dinner and go to bed. But anyway, so let's talk about the concealers, because that's what we're here for. Now I'm going to give you guys an up close, but just so you know, I have not touched my makeup up once. I don't touch my makeup up throughout the day, you guys. It is what it is. Like, it just looks like what it looks like throughout the day. If it's been through it, it's been through it. I don't have time to touch it up, and I always find my makeup just doesn't look as good when I touch it up. I'd rather just let it go, you know, do its thing. Anyway, so I haven't touched it up. I look rough, like I said. It's all worn away, that kind of a thing. But I will say, my under eyes are actually probably the one part of my makeup that's holding up the best out of all of the routine. Like, everything else is pretty much worn away or is oily or like whatever, but my under eyes aren't looking too bad. Are they looking as fresh as they were this morning? No, they are on their last legs, but that's okay. I actually also went out shopping today and was wearing a mask, and it is very humid here and hot here in where I live. So, you know, it doesn't have an easy run of it, my makeup, let me just tell you that. But yeah, they are looking pretty good. So let me give you a bit of an up close. That is what they look like. They look like they've faded a little bit, and like this bit in here has definitely faded a bit, but not as bad as it has actually been doing the last couple of days, so that's nice. But they do look like they've faded a little bit, but other than that, they've actually held up quite well. Is it perfection? No. No, it's not. But this concealer routine has made me the happiest I have been with my under eyes in a very long time. I really, really enjoyed this. This was so lovely and hydrating on the skin. I really liked it. And same with the Flawless Fusion Concealer. So lightweight and hydrating on the skin. Like it feels like I've actually got nothing on in my under eyes or on my under eyes. And then this one was my least favorite, but I just need to play around with it some more. But in saying that, I really did kind of like the finish of it a little bit more, maybe even than my pat one, but they're different. Like this is a little bit more of a satin natural finish, whereas the pat one's very matte, and the pat one does better through my T-zone definitely than this one. This is just really for under eyes, whereas the pat one you can kind of do all over and it does a good job. That is wrapping up my first impressions. So far, I really, really like them. Like I said, this isn't an in-depth review. That will come at the end of February in like a roundup, but so far I really am enjoying them. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think this looked like on camera? Did it look like it lasted well throughout the day? Did you like the initial application? Have you tried these products? What do you think about them? Let me know all of your juicy details in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. If you're watching till this point, you're an absolute legend. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I hope that you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.